So let us continue. Okay, let us continue. So, just,
Yes, teacher.
so let us our second object, my point one. So the parameters of the constructor, so x is 3, y is 5, so r is 1, and c is 2. So the next block of using my point object, so the height. So we have 3, 5, 1, 2. Now, x is 3, y is 5, r is 1, c is 2. Point O. Okay, so the move function, so the increment is the same in x5, in y minus 2, in r 0, in c 0. So 3 plus 5 is 8, as you see. So 5 plus minus 2 is 3. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, 5 plus minus 2 is 3. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 2 plus 0 is 2. So what is x? X now is 5. X is 5. X is not 25, but x now is 5. So I'm sorry, is 8. Is 8. 5, 3 plus 5. So 8. So yes, I is 8. I equal x, but x from my point 1. Yes, and we out I after this. I is 8. Okay, so this is the result of this program. Okay, after this we had the cycle in 100 steps, so in which we have to hide, move, and show. So these two messages, hide, move, and show, but for which point? For the first point, my point. My point 1 is absent, so my point. So let us see the first line in the cycle. So x is 25. Let us see. X is 25. So this is last x from the first point, 25, 28, 0, 5. After this in the cycle, move in 5 plus 2, 0, 0, not minus 2, but plus 2. So after 25, 25 plus 5 must be 30. Yes, after 20, how much? After 20, after 28, 28 plus 2, 28 plus 2 must be 30 again. So where is 25? Yes, 28 plus 30 again.
It plus. Yes, teacher.
0 r
It's 5. Okay.
0 increment and 0 increment. Okay, so after next step will be increment in x in 5, in y in 2, and no increment in r and c. So let us see the height in the same position. The height in the same position as show. Next step after show will be next height in the next position. And after this, the increment x in 5, so y into, so we have 30, 30, 0, 0 in height, and increment in 5, 35, here increment in 2, 30, 32, 0, 0. And after this again, so off and again show, so 40 and so on. So until the end. So in this textual, this is textual mode program, so we emulate the motion of the point, which changes, the coordinates changes. So point off means that we erase point in this position, point on, so means that we draw the point in the next position, So our point moves in x, so in the left direction, so the count begins from the left, so it increases. So in the left and in the vertical, we moves from the top down. So in the left and in the down. So point moves, for example, in this way, maybe this way. So from the top left to the right down. Okay. So and here we have 100 steps of this motion. So the emulation of the motion in the textual mode, because we work in the console. So this is the statical creation, the statical object. So we create in the very beginning of the program. Okay. So we use the memory in the very beginning of the program, and we remove we clear the memory, so in the very end of the program. It calls the statical using of memory, so the statical creation of objects, the statical creation of object of the classes. So we use the name of the object, we use the object and the dot operator to obtain the functions. Okay, so the second is the dynamical creation. The dynamical creation. Here we dynamically created structures and compare with statical creation. In structures, the situation is the same. So we create the object of the structure, of the before declared structure. And here we use this object to obtain the members of the structure. The name, so here is the name, the days, yes, the days, and the score, okay. So, but in dynamical creation, first after the declaration, we must create not the objects, but the pointers. We must create the pointers and use not the objects, but the pointers. The pointers here. Student 0 is the object. Here student 0 is the first pointer from this array of 7 pointers. Okay, and we create dynamically, so not in the very beginning of the program we create 7 structures, but we create dynamically, not in very beginning, but in the time of executing, so with the help of operating U. So what we create? We create the structure student, this declared structure as student. So the same situation is in the class, So we declare the class C point. So the declaration is the same. So the realization of methods is the same. Yes, but the execution differ. So we create 2 pointers and we use new operator to create. Okay, so let us take this program. So for checking, I will try to use this listing from the Moodle, not from my Microsoft Visual C++ 6.0, but from the Moodle. And let us try to put it instead of this program. Let us erase it into the online compiler. Okay, so and let us try to press run to compile. Okay, so Windows H must be changed. Okay, let us declare, and let us, instead of this, let us include Unistandard library. Include, sorry, yes, A is absent, include. Okay, so the help, include, okay, Unistandard H library. Okay, Unistandard. Okay, after this, it is necessary to change the sleep function. This sleep is absent in Unistandard library. So the sleep from Unistandard. So you sleep, and the semicolon in the end, because this is the end of the command, okay, and the time 40 milliseconds, so measured in microseconds, so 40 thousandths, okay, milliseconds. Okay, so let us press run, let us press run. So what is next? The void main. So the void main for modern C++ compiler requires the complicated void. So with return of integer type. So let us, after the declaration and realization of methods, let us go to the executable part, to the main function, to the starting point of the program. Let us press here integer. Okay, integer main and press run again. Okay, so we have the execution of the program. Okay, so the result will be the same, completely the same. In the screen you see the same. Okay, so let us press run again to see all the dynamic. Okay, yes. So the result is the same, but the using of memory is different. So the declaration of the class is the same. The realization of methods is the same. Yes, but it is no matter how we declare, how we create the object. Statically or dynamically. So first, anytime, anyway, it is necessary to declare, okay, to list all the members of the class. So how much members? 1, 2, 3, 4 variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 functions. So 4 plus 5, so 9 members in the class. Now we have 9 members. Okay, it must be listed. So in the frames of the class, so declared. After this, it is necessary to realize, to describe which actions must be performed in each function. So to describe the constructor. Constructor has the same name with the class. The destructor, the constructor, the destructor. The destructor, the name of the class with tilde in the beginning. So, and to realize the height, show, and move functions. Height, show, and move functions. Okay. So after this, executable part starts. Okay, so in executable part, it is necessary to create first 2 pointers because we will create 2 objects, 2 different objects. The pointer to one object and the pointer to the second object. So at least one object. So how to create one pointer? P-point. P-point means the pointer of the point. Okay, so we create dynamically with the help of new operator. New operator creates, so takes the memory for this class, for the purposes of this class. So X requires some memory, Y requires some memory, R requires some memory, C requires some memory. So the parameters of constructor, IX requires some memory, IY requires some memory, IR requires some memory, IC requires some memory. The parameters of the move function requires, DX requires, DY requires, DR requires, DC requires. So this is only the list of the members. Yes, but when we create the object, so all this memory must be taken from the memory of the computer and called all this block of how much? 1, 2, 3, 4 integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how much? 4 plus 4 plus 4. So 12 integers. Each integer require 4 bytes. So 12 times 4, it is 48 bytes. This is only for the fields and for the parameters. But each function requires some memory too, so-called stack of the function. So, and all this volume of memory now is filled and is called C point. and is called C point. When we create the object, new, so it creates all this block of memory and calls it the object of C point. So the address, the number of the first cell of this block of memory is given to the pointer p point which we create before. Okay. So this is the parameters of constructor. So the coordinates of the point, the radius, and the color 20, 30, 05. Let us see the result. Let us see, sorry, the result of execution. Yes. Result of execution. Yes, so 20, 30, 05. 20, 30, 05. Okay. So after this, after we create dynamically with the help of operating U, and we give the address of the created object, dynamical object, to the pointer, p point, the address, only the address. So with the help of this pointer, p point, and with the help of arrow operator, it is possible to call the function high, move, and show. The move function is the same, with the same increment, x in 5, y in minus 2, 0, 0. So 20 plus 5, 25, 30 minus 2, 28, 0, 5. So the same situation. So the x is 25 and the same situation here. So, but here the parameters of constructors 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, and let us see which the increment is the same. So 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 minus 2 is 3, so 1, 1. So the situation is the same. Okay. Okay, and the cycle with only the emulation of the first point motion. Okay. So this is dynamical creation. So let us compare again. So it is not, it is no matter how we create. So first it is necessary anytime to declare. Okay, so let us edit. Let us edit a little. Okay, let us edit. Let us step one more time, because after termination, okay, so it is necessary to continue the participation. Okay, computer science and engineering. Okay, so the previous laboratory work, the Friday's laboratory work. Okay, yes, let us edit. So, редактировать or edit in English. Okay, so let us edit. Okay, statical and dynamical. First project. So first project, let us remove first project. Okay, it is better. So the declaration is the same. Okay, what is different? It's the declaration of the class. Yes. So declaration is the same. The realization, okay, so what is different? Public declaration of the methods. Okay, so it is not necessary to explain the declaration of fields. The declaration of fields, yes. So the declaration of functions, of methods, the declaration of methods. Yes, the declaration of methods. Okay, so it is not necessary to repeat that this is the methods of the class. It is understandable. So, yes, constructor, destructor, void, show, and hide, show, and move. Okay, so the declaration is the same. The realization of methods. Okay, the realization of methods. Yes, the constructor, the destructor, the void, the height, the show. Okay, let us move a little. Okay, yes, and height, show, and move, the realization of functions. So the using, the executing, the using, the using, the using, the using, some space, just more spectacular, the using. Okay, so first, the creation of the objects. Yes, so instead of to create the objects, so here we create two pointers, two pointers, two pointers. Okay, so we would not create pointers in statical creation. We create two objects. So the creation of two objects. Okay, let us put here the explanation that this is a creation of two objects, statical creation. So in the very beginning, statical creation or creation of two statical objects. It is better to say creation of two statical objects of the class. Okay, one object, yes, and second object. Yes. Yes, here we dynamically create first object dynamically. Here we create two objects statically. Okay, statical. Okay, so using of members of the class with the help of first pointer and this operator. Using of member of the class with the help of first object. Which object? My point without one. My point and dot operator and dot operator. Okay, dot operator. Operator. Yes. Let us put here the asterisk. Yes. So my point height with the help of object here, height with the help of first pointer p point. Okay, so here the dot operator, here in dynamical the arrow operator. So it is not necessary. It is not necessary, and it is not necessary to explain one more time. Okay, so and after this, so the I is used. So dynamical creation of two dynamical object of the second dynamical object. Okay, so it is not necessary because we created two statical objects before. Okay, we created this second statical object before. So, but now it is necessary before using the functions of the second object first to create dynamical. But in the process of execution, okay, so yes, so here the using of members of the class, yes, using of the members of the class, move a little, because it must be placed in the block, so one step to the left, the block and the content of the block. Okay, so using the same record, but here using of members of the class with the help of second object. My point, which second object? My point one. My point one and dot operator. Yes, and dot operator again, and dot operator and arrow operator. Let us add arrow operator here and arrow operator. Okay, it is okay, without this. Yes, just this. Maybe even arrow and arrow. Let us try to shoot arrow operator. Arrow operator. Second pointer p point one and arrow operator. Okay, very well. Hide, move, comment. Let us erase the comment. Okay, and I, but from my point, and X from my point. So we created I variable here and here. For which purpose? First, to obtain the X value. Okay, second, to use it in the cycle. Okay, so yes, the same. After this, the gauge function to stop the termination, to show you in my Microsoft Visual C++. The dynamic, because when I tabulate from one window to another, the result is not seen, so it is necessary to put gauge. So first point, motion emulation with the help of object my point and dot operator here with the help of pointer p point and arrow operator. Okay, so the situation is the same. Okay, so the complete explanation of this laboratory work, the difference between statical and dynamical class, statical and dynamical object. Okay, the difference is the same as in the case of statical and dynamical structure. Okay, so let us save it. Save, yes, and let us continue our today's topic. I'm sorry. Okay, let us continue. So sorry, the same. Okay, so let us open one more time this course and let us compile the heritage and polymorphism project. This project, as I said you, so in this project we had two classes. We create not two objects of one class, but we create two objects of different classes, the object of one class and the object of other class. So here we create statical creation. For the simplicity, the statical creation, but two objects, the object of the first class and the object of the second class. And this class we emulate not only the motion of the point, but the motion of the circle too. So the parameters of the circle are the same. The coordinates of the center of the circle, the radius, and the color. It must be taken from the basic class C point. In this case, the second class must be derived, so it must be indicated that not simply class C circle, but C circle public C point after colon. So this class may use the public components of previous class C point. So which components? All these components. So, but constructor must be placed, and destructor must be placed anyway. Constructor at least must be placed anyway. So the constructor must be declared in this class, in the second class, anyway. So the constructor, this is class C point. So where is the declaration of C circle? Yes, the construct. No. This is C point. Okay, there is. Okay, so this is circle. Okay, so the constructor of C circle and the destructor of C circle. But other public members of the basic class, so must be automatically included in the next if they are not virtual. So this is virtual, this is virtual, but this integer x, y, r, c and move are not virtual, so they are included in the declaration of the second class automatically. It is not necessary to repeat them, Yes, it is not necessary. The declaration so is automatically heritage, and move is heritage of derived automatically. So only virtual function must be repeated. So all the virtual function of basic class must be repeated in the derived class or heritage class. So we have a so-called hierarchy. So this is the top of the hierarchy, the basic class, and this is the second class of the hierarchy. So it may use the members of the first class, not virtual, but virtual must be placed in this class and realized separately. Okay, so the constructor, the destructor, the hide, and the show function. Okay, so after this, what we do? We create the object of the first class, my point, the object of the second class, my circle. Okay, and so we call the functions of my point and the x from my point, and the functions of the C circle and the x from C circle. And after this, we emulate in parallel the motion of the point and the motion of the circle. Okay, so let us take this listing. Let us copy. Okay, after this, we have an explanation. Okay, so press Ctrl C. Okay, and let us try to go to the GDB online compiler. So GDB online compiler. So press Ctrl A and delete all, and press Ctrl V and paste this. Okay, so C++, what is necessary to fix? Instead of Windows H, it is necessary to include uni standard H. Yes, instead of void main, it is necessary to put the integer main. Instead of sleep, it is necessary to put you sleep in lowercase, and instead of 40 milliseconds, it is necessary to put 40,000 microseconds. Okay, so let us try to press run. And nothing happens, nothing happens. Okay, so let us, oh, but here I put instead of 40,000, 400. Okay, so let us press 40,000, 40,000, 4,000, 40,000. Okay, so let us press run again. The result, so the result differ because in parallel with point we have the emulation of the circle, and here in the beginning of the execution, okay, let us use this. Sorry. Yes. Okay, so here we have the circle off, the circle on. Okay, so let us press run to see the dynamical change. Okay. Yes. Point off, point on, circle off, circle on. Okay. So 100 steps of the emulation in parallel. The motion of point and the motion of the circle. Okay. So after this, let us stop the demonstration. Okay, let us stop the demonstration. So the time is over. So where we have the next time. The next time will be tomorrow. So in the Wednesday, the 18th of November. So the fourth lesson. So in 2:30 p.m. 14:30. So the please tomorrow in 14:30, please enter the same conference in Zoom. So the ID and the code will be the same. So please wear masks. I wish you good health and see you next time. The record is over.